P5 class, I'm here once again with yet another lesson, and that is lesson 27. Okay, and in this lesson, I would like to remind you that I'm Mr. Mwanikha once again in science P5. Okay, now we are going to look at mass and weight, but before looking at mass, we shall first of all look at weight and we see what it means, because some of us, we always hear the words weight. What is your weight? What's the weight of that sack? What does it mean? Okay? So what we are going to do, we are going to define weight as, weight is a force of gravity acting on an object. Weight is the force of gravity acting on an object. Now, whenever you hear, there are some people who give themselves names that they are called gravity. But for us, we know in science, gravity means something else. What does it mean? If gravity acts on an object, that object gains the weight. That object gains the weight. So what is gravity? Tell me, what is gravity? Gravity is the force that pulls objects in space towards the center of the earth. Is the force that pulls objects in the space towards the center of the earth. Okay? Now, if I have an object like this stone, I sing it. Even if I leave it, let me suspend it in the air and see, will it fall down or will it remain in the space? Let's see. It has fallen down. Even if I leave something like this one and it falls down, it means gravity is the one that has made that object to fall down. It pulls. Even an aeroplane, when it is flying, there's a time when it gets tired and does what? And comes down. Even birds, do they stay in the air? Do they sleep in the air? No. They have to come back up to their nests. But now, which force is that is going to pull that object? It is a gravity. So gravity is the force that pulls objects in the air towards the center of the earth. Now, for us, we believe that when something is thrown in the air, where it falls, it is maybe its center. Okay? Now, gravity, when we talk about the gravity, that force that is making objects to fall down on the earth, is what we call gravity. Now, when we talk about weight, we go back to weight. Weight is determined by the following. The weight of an object is determined by the following. One, it is determined by the size. If something is big, if you have a big table, meaning that it will have a lot of what? Weight. The bigger the object, the more weight it contains. Okay? Two, we have the material. Some objects are made from paper. Like now, let's say a book. Let's say a book, those papers, and then compare with a polythene paper, a book paper and a polythene paper. Which one weighs heavier? Then another thing, a metallic chair and a wooden chair. Which one is heavy? So weight depends on the material from which the object is made. Then another one, weight depends on force of gravity. If the gravity which is pulling that object is more, meaning that the weight will also be more. But if the gravity is less, the object will also have less what? Weight. Are we there? Let's see. Let's see this, the gravity. I think an object is thrown in the air, or you jump up. Are we there? Let's see what happens. It comes down. Gravity pulls it. Gravity tries to do what? To pull it. Now, when it pulls it, what happens? It gains the weight. Are we there? That object gains what? Weight. So, we say gravity is the force that pulls objects in the space towards the center of the earth. Then, and the weight is the force, weight is the force of gravity acting on an object. Therefore, when an object has been affected by gravity, it gains the what? The weight. let's continue and look at, that object is falling. I think when it goes up, it bounces and comes where? Down. Are we there? So that is what we call gravity and weight. But more about weight. Weight is not constant. Weight is not constant. What does it mean? Weight keeps on changing according to where you are. Now, for example, people who do what we call, who go to the moon. There are some people who visit the moon to learn about it, to see what is there in the moon, on the moon. Now, those people, when they reach the moon, if you have 50 kilograms, those kilograms can reduce. The 50 kilograms can even be 5 kilograms when you are on the moon. Why? There is less gravity on the moon. There is less gravity on the moon. That's why objects weigh less when they are on the moon than here on Earth. The Earth has a lot of what? Gravity. Are we there? Then so it keeps on changing. Weight keeps on what? Changing. It is not constant. And the weight is measured in newtons. Weight is measured in newtons. Newton is the standard unit of weight. Are we there? The newtons were introduced, they was first used by, or first invented by the man called Sir Isaac Newton. So he gave them as he gave his units as in his name. So that's why we write starting with capital letter. That is newtons. Are we there? So let's look at machines or instruments that are used for measuring weight. One, we have a weighing scale. That's a weighing scale where you stand on. Okay? You stand on it, then it measures your weight. Then we have a spring balance. Inside this one, there is a spring, and you hang it. When let's say any machine which you hang, and then you put something so that you can weigh, and then it pulls, it means it is measuring the weight of something, because that force of gravity pulls it, okay, so that it can make the what, the machine to move, so that it can measure your weight, okay. And also we have a spring balance. It can be in this form or this one. This one was used by some people some time back, but they developed this one here, okay, the spring balance. So from there, let's look at what we call mass. What is mass? Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Mass is the amount of matter in any object. Are we there? Yes. So what are we saying? We are saying that mass is the amount of matter in any object. So what are they trying to tell us? That the units of mass, one, grams is the standard unit. When you are measuring mass, grams is the standard unit, followed by kilograms, followed by grams, followed by milligrams, centigrams, and many others. But the basic unit for measuring mass is always grams. Are we there? Yes. More about mass. Mass is constant. Mass is not like weight. Weight keeps on changing while mass doesn't change. When you have the mass of 20 kilograms, even if you go to the moon, you go anywhere, or you are diving in water, it remains 20 grams. Are we there? So mass doesn't change. And two, mass is measured in grams. Not only grams, there are other units that we have mentioned before. Okay? Let's look at the machines that are used to measure mass. One, we have what we call, we have weighing scales. Like this one is called a clock balance. Clock balance. Some of these things are found in our homes. We measure food when we are going to cook, when our mothers are going to cook. We have a beam balance, if you have ever seen that one. Yeah. We have what we call a lever balance, that's the other one. Then a set of scales. or scale balance. Okay? All these ones are used in measuring mass. Are we together? So I want you to get your pencil, draw this. You draw all those instruments very well and write good notes. And when I come back, I'm going to give you my activity. I'm not going to forget saying thank you very much for being part of this lesson. I love you. Mwanikha John is my name.